Good afternoon. We're going to get started just on time so we don't run over time, and we have plenty of time for questions at the end. This should be a very interesting and stimulating session. I'm Pat Sylla. I'm a colorectal surgeon based in New York City, and my co-chair is Doreen Colbasau, is also going to be a co-moderator for this session. So we were assigned with a task of essentially reviewing the principles of a laparoscopic right colectomy. And so we obviously wanted to make it as interesting and stimulating as possible. So we have invited a panel of experts who we're very grateful are here and will share the tricks and techniques. And so what we will do is kind of deconstruct the procedure, both based on indication for the procedure and approach. We'll start with focusing on the approach for Crohn's, just basic Crohn's and more complicated Crohn's. And then we'll really well down into the concept of lateral versus medial approach for right colectomy and ileal colectomy. And then we'll also kind of spend a little bit of time on complex disease or recurrent disease in the situation of complex pelvic masses, abdominal masses that you have to resect, and what the strategies could be. And then we'll end the session reviewing the techniques for anastomosis, which obviously is very exciting because now you're no longer limited to extracorporeal anastomosis, but actually intracorporeal anastomosis has been gaining a lot of popularity lately, and we'll go over all the details of how to do this, both laparoscopically and robotically. So first slide, please. I just want to go over the disclosure for the staff because there's going to be a lot of back and forth of people coming back to the podium showing a presentation. I'll go over their disclosures as they relate to this content of this session. Alessio Pigazzi has disclosures that are not relevant, Medtronic Intuitive. Barry Salke has a disclosure with Gordian Surgical, which is not relevant to this talk, as well as with Surgical Solutions, which is also not relevant to the content of this talk. Next slide. Next slide is Marilise Boutros, has nothing to disclose. Next. Giovanni Dapri has a relationship with Carl Storz, not relevant to this talk. And finally, Gyusog Choi has nothing to disclose. Maurice Franklin, unfortunately, could not stay for this session. He submitted his videos, and he sends his apologies, but he had a family emergencies that required him to travel earlier. But Alessio Pigazzi will describe his videos, and at least we'll have that content that we'll be able to share with you. So without further ado, I'm going to invite first Alessio Pigazzi to the podium. He's going to describe the technique of essentially laparoscopic ileocolectomy, right colectomy for Crohn's disease. Thank you, Alessio, from UCI.